Alright guys, we are back for another UHC Duels video, and this time around I have a little bit of a story, but before we get into the meat and potatoes of it, if you guys haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's free, you can always unsubscribe later on, and yeah. But before we get into the story, and I said this already, I need to make sure I actually don't die in my first match of the day. And this guy, I believe is a Nick. I did notice he had the classic red plus. Usually like you don't get classic red pluses unless they are nicked, since I'm nicked myself as a classic red plus. Oh, he's dead, so it doesn't really matter, but that's besides the point. Usually you can tell for the MVP plus guys if they are nicked just because of the plus color, because again, the only way you can change your plus color from the default is if your actual name, you're not nicked, and then you just choose, okay, this is the color I want based on my level. Otherwise, when you're doing /nick, the only nick option for MVP plus as a rank is the classic red. I went on a little tangent there, so let's get back onto the main topic. So recently, I've had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction at work, and a big part of that has to do with the environment that I'm working in. For those who don't know, I am a swim instructor, and part of being a swim instructor means that you're going to be in chlorinated water for hours on end. And for the regular folks, that might not sound like too bad of a thing, but you gotta understand, regardless of, you know, whether you think, oh, it's a lot of chemicals or not, when you're regularly exposing yourself for hours on end per week, it does do damage to your swim trunks and as well as your swim uniform. I'll show some images, but as you can see, the color of a new uniform versus my old uniform is very different. You'll see that the colors just have changed over time and has created a lot of wear and tear on the material, especially for my swim trunks. Like look at them. Those swim trunks used to be blue and black, then they turned white and gray, and those were a newer pair too. They were like 3 months old, so in 3 months it went from having all this color to having no color at all. So if that doesn't tell you that, oh, the chlorine kind of does a number to whatever material you're wearing, well, there you go. Being used to this, I've always been like, it's not a big deal. It'll be fine. And for a long time, I've always been of the thought that if it works, it works, right? But that might have been a mistake, because little did I know, I believe that the fact that the swim material was starting to get bleached, or not bleached, but lose its color, it's telling that something bigger could happen. And lo and behold, something bigger did end up happening. Essentially, and this is the normal practice at my work, I was getting out of the pool to talk to a parent, and we usually do this because we like to give feedback at the end of every swim class. I was getting out to talk to a parent right before my last class that I had to teach for the day, and as I was getting out of the pool, I hear this tear sound, like a and I'm like, what is that? Of course, I look down. You know what I see when I look down? I see the inner part of my swim trunks, like near my crotch, rip open. And I'm like, oh god, this cannot be happening to me. And of course I'm thinking, you know what, it's not too bad. Maybe it's just on the inner part. Maybe if I'm careful about how I move, it won't rip further. And of course, as soon as I think that in my head, I accidentally move the wrong way and the rip goes up. I'm not joking. Like, I'm in a place where there's a lot of kids and their parents, and my junk is almost exposed. Luckily, no one sees it, of course, because it's on the inner part and there wasn't anyone particularly around me besides my kids, but they've already gotten out of the water, so it was okay. But I was a little bit mortified because I was like, oh my gosh, if I'm not careful, like, that stuff can hang out. Now, lucky for me, I do have an inner lining on my swim trunks that makes so that even if the material rips on the outer part, you won't see any of my stuff. But still, that inner lining, it's kind of like a mesh, and if you look hard enough, you can see through it. So when this all happened, what I did, and this is to preserve my dignity, was I slowly got out of the pool, and with my legs together, I shuffled forward, and I took my class sheet, because I have one, just to look at all kids I have to teach, and I just put it in front of me, and no one noticed, because of course I had it hidden pretty well. Good thing the rip did not go too far back. But I gotta say, I was like panicking, and I'm already stressing right now, because I think I've recognized this guy from a few duels before, and he's fairly decent, so I have to be careful a little bit, otherwise he will kill me. So let me just like go in for some crits. He's gonna lava me, but I'm gonna pick up his lava, steal it for myself. He will head as well, so I will head. Okay. Let me just go in. Oh, I don't know if I'm critting out because I'm genuinely doing better, or because he's lagging. I think part of it is like his connection isn't the best. Let me just eat my 𝐜𝐵𝐿 before I die here. Oh, I think he's out. Even if he isn't out, he must be. He's desperate. Come on. Woo! Lord, that was a stressful match. Damn. Alright, we were stressing a little bit from the last match, but we made it. And, okay, my connection is failing. That person is quite literally warping towards me at the speed of light. Not great. And they're a black plus, so might be against someone who's genuinely skilled here. Hard to say. But we are doing decent in an opening exchange. Are on the back foot though, so might lose the win streak here, not gonna lie. I took way too long to eat that. Oh, I got the water. Interesting. No, I didn't get the water. What? Aw, man. Oh! Oh god. Jesus Christ. Come on. No! So close. Oh, that sucks so bad. As predicted, we lost that match. After the match ended, I quickly did a slash stats on that person, and I gotta say, they kind of outclassed me a little bit in terms of the statistics. I even looked on Plank, and I was like, yeah, I might have been a little bit outmatched, but I did decent enough. I think the big thing I regret doing was that I was in my head, I was thinking, yes, I could kill this person with my bow and finish the duel safely. But then I didn't realize how close that person was, and I just got crit out. That was it for me, the end. But you know what? It is what it is. We take these L's and move forward. But anyways, we're getting a little bit distracted here. We were supposed to talk about the incident. And you might be asking, Crafter, what happened after your swim trunks tore open and then you got out of the pool as careful as possible? Well, I did what any good instructor does, and I talked to my parents, giving them the feedback on how their kids did in the swimming class. And while that was happening, I was covering my shame with my class sheet. Now, once I was done with that, I quickly went on over to my supervisor since he was nearby, and I signaled to him saying like, hey man, something happened. I remember the exact words. I was like, an incident occurred. and he was looking at me like mortified. And you know, I thought that he was getting some weird impression. No, he thought I was injured or something because of how I was standing. And I was like, oh no, I didn't get injured, man. I might have had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction. And of course, to show him what I meant, I subtly moved my class sheet out of the way just enough for him to see what happened. And he was like, oh god, Crafter, let's carefully get you over to the staff room. Do you have a towel to wrap around yourself? And I was like, no dude, I left it in the staff room. And I'm like, it's okay, we can walk over. It's my ass is not hanging out. It's just the inner part. If I keep my legs together, it's fine. So while that's happening, I have to quickly get one of my coworkers to fill in for me since I don't have any other swim trunks, and luckily the situation was resolved. I just had to go home a little bit early because again, I didn't have any spare swim trunks. So that was the end of that. And you might be wondering what I did afterwards, because obviously I have a job and I need a pair of swim trunks. Well, I'll have you know, I was going to a family party, so I needed to get it quickly, and it didn't help that I also had work the next day. So as soon as I finished up with work, I went to Sport Check, which was a mistake. It was just happened to be close, and I bought a new pair for over $80. It was the biggest ripoff of my life. Why didn't I think of going somewhere else? I don't know. I was possessed by something. Obviously, it was not by smart financial decisions, but we got a new pair. Hopefully, it lasts much longer than my current one, and we don't have any further incidents. And I am getting killed right now. This guy is backing up. Okay, it's time to relax. If you're gonna run away, I will shoot you. That's pretty much all. Luckily, I got new swim trunks. Everything was good with it. I haven't experienced any random tears or wardrobe malfunctions, but we'll see if that ever happens. We'll have to see. Absolutely, mistake. You should have killed me. You messed up, and now I die. Of course. Not going to lie, I was a little bit cheesed that I lost that match. That guy was backing up when I was using my heads and made me waste my regen and my speed. But it is what it is. We lost twice today. Not so great, but we'll get better at the game. Just give it a little while. I'll get some good practice in. But until next time, thanks again for watching, and take care, guys. Peace for now.